Okay, good morning, everyone. We're about to get started. If you can silence your cell phones and close any doors that are open, I greatly appreciate it. Okay, we are on the record. Today is Monday, the 12th day of August, 2024. This is a City Council caucus meeting of the Jersey City Municipal Council. We had a scheduled 10 a.m. start, and the clock on my cell phone is showing 10:18 a.m. May we have a roll call for the commencement of this meeting? Councilperson Prinzary. Councilperson Baggiano is absent. Councilperson Saleh.
Here.
Councilperson Solomon. Councilperson Gilmore.
Present.
Councilperson DeGise is absent. Councilperson Rivera.
Here.
Council President Waterman is absent. And Council President Pro Temp Ridley. We have 6 council members present at 10:18 a.m. On behalf of Council President Pro Temp Ridley and members of the Municipal Council, in accordance with New Jersey Public Laws of 1975, Chapter 231, the Open Public Meetings Act, also known as the Sunshine Law, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the posting on the bulletin board of the first floor City Hall, the annual notice, which is the schedule of meetings and caucuses of the Municipal Council for the calendar year 2024, and filed in the office of the City Clerk on Thursday, November 30th, 2023. In addition, at its time of its preparation, the agenda was similarly disseminated on Friday, August 9th, 2024 at 6:47 p.m. to the Mayor, Municipal Council, Business Administrator, Corporation Council, and the local newspapers, and posted on the city's website. And so I can certify as to our total compliance with the Sunshine Law. Council President Pro Temp Ridley, I'm going to turn the meeting over to you.
Okay, thanks, Sean. Good morning. First up, we have Director Kears.
And Council President Pro Tem and members of the council, I have 8 items before you this morning. First one is item 1044, Resolution 24-627. Resolution will authorize a renewal of a contract with Creative Outdoor Advertising of America LLC, provide the city with public outdoor waste and recycling receptacles under the concession contract. Contractor pays the city an annual concession fee of $175 per receptacle at $5% of the contractor's gross advertising revenue per receptacle. This is the second and final option to renew this contract.
Any questions?
No.
Hearing none, go ahead, Director.
Next is item 1053, Reso 24-636. Resolution will authorize rejection of 5 bids received by the city for custodial supplies based on there being substantially exceeding the recycling division pre-bid estimate. Contract will be reissued using revised bid specification.
Okay, next.
Next is 1054, 637. Resolution will authorize the city's purchasing agent to sell various vehicles, 32, at public auction. Next is 1055, 638. Resolution will authorize the open-end contract to Guardian Fence Incorporated, provide chain link fence material and installation at the city's new vehicle impound facility located at 13th and Monmouth. Total amount of this contract is $79,050 and is available in the DPW capital account.
Next.
Next is 1056, 639. Resolution will authorize the award of a contract to McCluskey Mechanical Contractors Incorporated for HVAC services for city-owned buildings under the Hunterdon County Educational Commission. Total amount of this contract is $400,000 with a temporary encumbrance of $30,000. Next is 1057, 640. The resolution will authorize a renewal of an open-end contract with Tomino's Towing for towing and recovery services for the DPW Division of Automotive Services. Total cost of this contract is not to exceed $100,000 and is an encumbrance of $5,000, which is available in a DPW automotive maintenance account.
Is this different from the public safety towing people, or is it the same?
Same thing.
Same thing? Okay.
That's you.
1058, 641. The resolution will authorize the award of a contract to Michelle's Oil Company for the purchase and delivery of diesel fuel under New Jersey state contract. Total amount of this contract is $800,000 with a temporary encumbrance of $5,000. And the last is 1059-24-642. Resolution will authorize the award of contract to Rachel Michelle Company for the purchase and delivery of gasoline on the New Jersey State contract. Total amount of this contract is $800,000 with a temporary encumbrance of $5,000.
Council, any questions for Director Pierce? We're good? Thank you, Director. Matt?
Council, I'm here on actually two items. I think I only put down one. The first is resolution 24603, item 10.20. This is a resolution of the Municipal Council authorizing the Jersey City Planning Board to study and prepare an amendment to the Morris Canal redevelopment plan. The scope of this study will focus on an industrial area along Cornelius Avenue. And we'll look into the inclusion of supportive housing uses and office manufacturing space. All right.
Okay, Matt, this is for which by Bishop Street, right?
Correct.
That
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Bishop and Cornelison. Okay. Should I move on to my
Okay,
second
Matt.
item?
What's the second item?
Sure. Ordinance 24-073, agenda item 3.8. This is an ordinance of the Municipal Council adopting the Fayette Broadway redevelopment plan. This is a first reading ordinance. There was a study done and an area designated, and now this is the result of writing a redevelopment plan with a planning board recommendation. It does include provisions for mandatory affordable housing and mixed use development. There is representatives of the petitioners of this redevelopment plan here to speak on any questions.
Okay, okay, I see it now. I was asking what area this is. Okay. You say you have somebody here to speak on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we invite them up?
Yeah, let's invite him up.
We have Mr. Harrington.
Yes, good morning, council members. For the record, Charles Harrington, on behalf of the applicants for this redevelopment plan. As Matt mentioned, there's been a blight study was done, which was authorized by the city council for these properties some time ago. And it was presented, we've been working with community members on this and the Councilman Bogiano. And it was presented to the planning board a few weeks ago for an adoption of a new plan. Specifically, or kind of give you an overview of the area. It's the property that's directly adjacent to the path cut. Everybody, I'm sure, is familiar with the Puccini site that is currently being redeveloped. And my client's properties are to the east and west of that. One property is located at the dead end of Van Wagenen, right next to the path cut where the pedestrian bridge goes over the tracks. And there's a building, a 13-story building being constructed currently across the street. The other building or property is located between Giles Avenue and Wales Avenue to the west of the Puccini site, directly to the west. And these buildings would, as Matt said, they would have an affordable housing component, 10% affordable housing. So as the concept plans are now, the Van Wagenen property would result in 30 affordable units, and the Giles Avenue property would result in an additional 43 units. Also, as part of this redevelopment plan, the redevelopers would need to enter into a redevelopment agreement with the JCRA, and we've been working with the Port Authority and planning and the city engineering to restore and rehabilitate that the pedestrian bridge that crosses over from Van Wagenen over to the Newark Avenue side. So that has been a lot of coordination on the part of all parties. And there's also, we think is a a nice element here too. The Van Wagenen property extends from Van Wagenen to the east up to Tunnelly Avenue. So if you're familiar with that property, it's vacant now. But my client, as part of the redevelopment, would develop that as open space for the public to use. So we're going to get, some more open space there. And it's kind of a part of the bigger plan too, because across the street eventually is supposed to be a pedestrian connection from that part of Tunnelly Avenue all the way up to Journal Square. So it's kind of a nice little element there. So hey, that's the the long and short of it. It is we're hoping that these are developments consistent with the Pacini site, and I know there's always talk about trying to get a path station in that area. We think these types of developments will assist in making that argument in the future if that's the be.
Sure. These 700 new units, you said 13 stories, or 13 was the one that's currently being?
The current one is about 13. The Van Wagenen is proposed to be 15 stories, 175 feet. It slopes down, from Tunnelly down towards Van Wagenen. And then the one on Giles Avenue, the proposal is to have 5 stories in the front along Broadway for 70 feet deep, right? So, and then you step back and then 17 stories at the back end directly adjacent to the path cuts.
That's true. Now, with regards to the affordability, is that in perpetuity or is it a limit on that?
I guess it's probably 30 years. It's consistent with what the ordinance is, the local ordinance. So that's my understanding, whatever the ordinance provides. And that would be similar, mixed income, moderate, low, very low, and then the mix of the bedroom mix, that's required by the ordinance.
Okay.
And Chuck, you said you have been in conversations with Councilman Borgiano, right?
Yeah, we've spoken to Councilman Bogiano and Pam. We've also spoken to community representatives about it, and he's spoken to the councilman about it as well.
Okay. Any additional questions?
Just my last question. So I know you said you spoke to Councilman Bergiano. Did you guys do a community meeting? Did you actually?
We did. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you.
Great. Director Woodson?
Before we have Director Woodson, I just want to mark Councilperson DeGise present at 10:26 a.m. So we now have 7 council members present.
Morning, council members. I have 3 items on the agenda. First being item number 10.6, resolution 24-589. It's a resolution rewarding a professional service agreement to Ronald P. Mondello, PC, to provide legal advice and counsel to the Jersey City Cannabis Control Board. Contracts not to exceed $60,000.
What number was that again, Maynard?
10.6. Any questions?
Next one. Maynard.
Next is agenda number 10.60. It's resolution 24-643. It's a resolution of the City Council amending the resolution 23-853 to continue the imposition of the moratorium on accepting applications for Class 5 cannabis retail licenses. It's extended through October 31st.
You said till October 1st?
31st.
31st.
Did we receive any applications in between the gap from July 31st to today, or?
Actually, it started, the effective date is August 1st,
Got it.
so we didn't have a gap.
All right, next one.
The last is agenda number 10.61, resolution 24-644. It's a resolution providing local support for the Cannabis Connoisseurs LLC to operate a Class 5 retail cannabis business at 912 Bergen Avenue. It was approved by the CCB on November 13th, 2023, and by the Planning Board on June 25th, 5th, 2024.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Director Manzella.
Good morning, Council Pro Tem, members of council. Mike Manzella, Director of the Division of Transportation Planning. I have 3 items today to present. The first is on the behalf of traffic engineering. It's agenda item number 3.5, ordinance 24-070. This is an ordinance to prohibit right turns on red at all times at the intersection of Montgomery and Grove. We were before council recently to adopt no turn on red at several intersections along Montgomery. And we just missed this one. So we're just adding it in accordance with the council person's office.
Mike, quick question. What's the, but is this something that makes the road safer, the no turn on reds at certain intersections? Because I noticed we did it on Montgomery, and I don't know if it's because of growing pains, but it looked like a mess, especially on, what's that, Monticello going right on Montgomery Street is like extremely congested. So is there any data that suggests that this is a safer?
Yeah. This is part of our Vision Zero strategy, and we can recirculate. We had circulated sort of a 2-pager on why no turn on red is an important safety measure in our toolkit. Studies have shown that it's really reduced crashes for turning vehicles, particularly for pedestrians. We could send that around again, but what intersection was that you said? Montgomery and
It's Monticello, but it turns into Jordan real quick. I think that's Jordan. Yeah,
we could take a look at what's going on there.
that's Jordan, right? Yeah, it turns into Jordan.
Okay.
I think that's a great intersection to do it at, just because a lot of people like to stand a little over the curb when they're there, and when the cars are turning, they're hugging that corner, and I know that there's been a few accidents over there the last few years. So
Next. The next item is agenda number 3.7. It's ordinance 24-072. This is an ordinance to authorize the extension of a lease with the NJSDA for 70 Iggy Avenue, where we have temporary parking for the Via Jersey City service. We first entered into a lease agreement on this property with the SDA in September of 2023. We did 1 6-month extension. We're looking to do another 6-month extension to bring us to February of 25. We anticipate that this will be the last extension for this property, as we are, this contract for the microtransit services is coming to an end and we need to rebid the contract. And as part of those negotiations, we anticipate that we'll be able to have the provider provide their own space. So we're looking, again, this is a no-cost agreement, looking to extend it another 6 months to get us to the end of the contract.
Next.
Okay, last item is agenda number 10.25. It's resolution 24-608. This is a resolution authorizing the city to enter into an agreement to install a secure bike parking facility on private property at 95 Columbus Drive. As you're all aware, we have a partnership with UNI to install at no cost to the city a citywide secure bike parking network. One of the locations in the first phase of the program was at the Grove Street Pass Station. Obviously, there's a lot of activity in that area, and finding space is difficult. So we did identify a very suitable space on the south side, south side of Columbus Drive, right in front of the Path Station. It's partially on city right away, but partially also on private property. So we've been discussing with the property owner to make sure that they're okay with this agreement. There'd be no exchange of any kind of financial information. It's really just allowing them to allowing the city to have UNI install the secure bike parking facility on that side of the street.
Director, I mentioned this to the BA, so he'll probably reach out, but can we just make sure that we are kind of circling up with the fire department with the bike storage facilities?
Sure.
Because it was mentioned during the discussions about the ion lithium batteries. I
Yes.
just want to make sure that if those electric scooters and bikes are being parked in there, that it's safe and not causing
Yeah.
everything to kind of blow up.
No, absolutely. We should, we'll have a meeting with, another meeting with the fire department to discuss that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Florence Barron.
Morning, council members. Florence Barron with Jersey Economic Development. I have 5 items this morning. First one, 10.38, Resolution 24621. This is to ratify an agreement with the Police Department and EDC for the administration of the off-duty police program. This is a requirement of the state UEZ, so that this agreement needs to be in place for us to distribute and disperse the funds.
I think, yeah,
Oh, I was just going to ask, how do you plan to distribute it? Will it be distributed equally among all the SIDs? Because the Central Avenue SID is, of course, expressed that they'd like to have the UEZ off-duty program reinstated.
We have put it in where it's evenly distributed amongst the SIDs and working with the city and the off-duty police program. It is also based on the availability of off-duty officers.
Do you know how much would be allocated per SID?
It's it's 2 officers per, because we have 24, actually, I'm sorry, it's 3 officers for each SID. And 1 floater. Because that's how we proposed it. We're working with the police department where there is a shortage of where they could post.
So it's 24 officers, 6 hours a day, and it's supposed to be for 247 days?
Yes,
Okay. And each SID would essentially get 2 officers.
it's supposed to be 3, but
3.
yeah, but
Okay.
based on current scheduling and availability, it is lower than we anticipated.
Okay. All right.
I was sent a schedule and then it was, I guess it wasn't the correct schedule. So when can we expect some sort of schedule with regard to coverage for SIDs? Because I've had questions from McGinley Square and Westside Partnership on what that's going to look like. And the information keeps changing and they cannot get clear answers from, in particular, the person that is evidently managing the off-duty program.
Yes, we're having issues too. We're trying to resolve that and get that going. It has been an issue with dealing with them, unfortunately.
So council members, I know I had a conversation with you guys over the weekend. I think there's 2 items here that deal with the off-duty UEZ funding. One is to accept the funds for that dedicated purpose. The second one is to allocate it to the SIDS. So I think it'd probably be our best effort to accept those dollars and lock them into the off-duty program. And then we could have follow-up meetings up to next week to include what those off-duty posts look like for each UEZ funding source and each SID. So we'd probably, we'd look to accept those funds because we have to get back to the state to let them know that we are using it for a specific purpose. But the actual drawdown on those dollars, we can come back to council after having subcommittee meetings.
All right, next one.
Next one. Next item is 10.39, Resolution 24-622. This is to submit the proposal for UEZ Marketing Phase 2.
I guess my major concern with this, well, there was no itemized list of expenses provided.
I could provide it to you. I could email it out.
So okay. That way we just could see the breakdown of it.
Sure, I'll get that to you. I'll get that to the whole council.
So question, because there's a few UEZ resolutions here, and I know that the EDC is planning meetings with the council to discuss UEZ funding and
Yes.
strategy. Are all of these related to that meeting, or are we just accepting the funds?
No,
and
these
do
are
the
just
breakdown?
going to be submitted prior to those meetings and prior to the draft of the UEZ 5-year plan.
Okay. Next one.
Item number 10.40, Resolution 24-623. This is also another proposal for Phase 2 of the lease subsidy grant. We are expanding the eligibility for more established businesses to be able to partake in the program. Next one, 10.41, Resolution 24-624. This is our proposal for service support for the SIDs, Phase 2, and we are upping the amount to $250,000 per SID. This is the last one, 10.42, Resolution 24-625. And this is a UEZ project to retain a consultant for a ghost kitchen feasibility study.
For a ghost kitchen,
It's a commercial kitchen where businesses, caterers, food trucks will be able to be able to come to a centralized location, cook their food, and go back out. Food trucks, things like that. It's more mainly for food businesses.
so what establishments will be cooking there?
I'm sorry?
What establishments will be cooking in this?
Food businesses, if the caterers, food truck owners.
So it's a service that the Jersey City Economic Development Corporation is going to
We
provide.
would provide like an
to-
incubator space for commercial
So we
kitchen.
work for.
They want to be able, they don't have to leave Jersey City. They'll be able to cook their food within Jersey City and then go back out into the community and be able to sell it at farmers markets, things like that.
Will they give out the licensing? What is it? Serve safe? No? Okay, we should think about that. I see.
Well, that's part of the,
Director
part of the
planning.
feasibility study would be those, and including those meetings with all departments, with all the stakeholders, all eligible businesses, to see if this would even work.
Got it.
That's why we want to have the feasibility study before we move forward, identify a location, build out, if it's going to work for Jersey City.
I hope it works. We're gonna spend $250,000 on a study. That's like the going rate for feasibility studies these days?
Actually, I've seen it, based on my research, it has actually gone up to like almost $500,000. So
Wow.
we're being a little conservative on that.
Start studying things.
Yeah.
Can we also look into like having the incubator space like we work for like entrepreneurs, not just like kitchen space, but
That's actually what we have going on at EDC on MLK right now. And we're hoping to open actually within hopefully the next month or so. But we have done that small business incubator space on
nice.
MLK.
So do we know the location or do we have?
So that will be part of the feasibility to
What would be that?
study to identify a space that would work. Because we would like it to be all encompassing. The vision is for like all food to go to that centralized location, have parking, be able to do all they need to do in one location and not be leaving Jersey City.
Love that. The grass is greener where you water it. So we have to make sure we help our entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you so much.
Amanda Diamond?
Hello, good morning, Council. I have
Morning.
2 resolutions to present today. Agenda number 1023, Resolution 24-606. This resolution is authorizing the use of competitive contracting to purchase a tree canopy data management software. The city intends to use competitive contracting to award this contract, and this will be paid for by grant funds from the USDA Urban Community Forestry IRA grant. The second one.
Who's going to manage the software? I'm sorry.
Oh, excuse me, what?
Is it going to be your office? Is it going to be the forestry forestry?
Our office would be managing it, but we'd be working closely with the Division of Forestry, and they would also be using it as well.
Thank you.
All All right, the second agenda item is 10.24, Resolution 24-607. This is authorizing the use of competitive contracting for the, to award a contract for the service of a consultant to assist with the city's updating of the Community Forestry Management Plan. The city intends to use competitive contracting to award this contract, and it will also be used, we will also be using grant funding from the USDA Urban Community Forestry IRA grant. Okay, thank you very much.
Paul Gate,
Morning, Council. Sorry. Here to present item number 10.48, Resolution 4631. This is a resolution authorizing Jersey City Department of Health and Human Services to accept additional grant funds.
Paul,
Paul?
lift the mic up a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I missed your, the number.
Number, sorry about that. 1048,
Thank you.
Resolution 24631. This is a resolution authorizing the Jersey City Department of Health and Human Services to accept additional grant funds for, from the New Jersey Department of Health for our 2024 EHE grant.
Oh, what is the EHE grant?
It's ending the HIV epidemic. It's funding from the Jersey. It's a federal program that the New Jersey DOH manages, and we've had it but three. This is the fourth year, so it's a 3-month extension and $46,000 and change additional funds to get us through the next 3 months until there's another program that's going to replace it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark Burns,
Morning, Council.
Morning.
I'm here for item 10.49, Resolution 24-632. It's a resolution ratifying an emergency contract award to PetServe Dog Care LLC, doing business as K9dergarten for additional dog housing needed until the repair of the flooring of the animal shelter intake room is completed.
What's the status of the floor?
We've had the caging since April. The flooring has been set up for bid. It's purchased, and last I heard it was being installed on Wednesday.
What, Wednesday coming up?
This Wednesday, yes.
And how long do we anticipate I guess the repairs, or even better, how long do we anticipate to be paying to house the dogs to K9 or K9?
I'm hoping 3 more weeks. To be honest, when we got the caging in April, I would have guaranteed we wouldn't still be in this situation right now. I'm also actually in my 6th month right now, and I thought the health department thought the council would like our yearly numbers, and I have them all for you if you guys would like. They're pretty impressive, actually.
So,
Council,
Is-
just for the flooring, before Wednesday's meeting, we'll have a timeline as to how long it would take to install, and then we could price it out based on that.
I guess my next question is, so where's this entity located?
K9dergarten is on Newark Avenue in Jersey City.
Oh, so they're in Jersey City.
Jersey City business. We thought it was intended to be a temporary housing situation for the overflow. As we all know, our animal situation was something that wasn't properly addressed for a long time. So we weren't surprised by the amount of animals from Jersey City we were getting. The number of animals from Hoboken and Guttenberg, I can count on 2 hands. It's all Jersey City animals. By the end of July, we've been taking 448 animals. And our live release rate currently is over 92%, which is more than 10% higher than the national average. But we anticipated having our intake room up and running by now. And, you know, we're spending money to house adoptable animals until we have it set up.
Can we look into cat and dog cafes? Discuss. Other municipalities have it, that's all I'm saying. We should think about it, at least in terms of adoption, you know, for these animals. Someone might adopt them. But, okay. I'm just throwing it into the universe. You don't have to respond.
Absolutely. We also have, we are participating for our first time. We're participating in Clear the Shelters this year, which is a national event sponsored by NBC, which actively promote universal adoptions across the board. This is our first year as a city participating in this. We're very excited about that. We have the containers from our pop-up village on MLK. We have those containers coming to the campus there. We're doing a lot of infrastructure with reaching out for our rescues and our community. We're doing free adoptions for veterans. We're working on a lot of fronts. Our current number of families hoping to surrender an animal, Jersey City families, is up over 100. So we're setting up a pet food pantry. So hopefully, in the long run, it's actually a lot cheaper to keep the animal in the home than it is to take responsibility for it. So some of that's going to be unavoidable, but we're hoping to set it up where if what's preventing you from keeping your animal is you just can't afford it, we're hoping to be able to keep these families together, which is not only going to be economically working out for us, but the proper gesture to do, keep the animals in the homes.
Mark, let me just tell you, as someone who's been there, I mean, you've been doing an amazing job. Your staff is amazing. The care that they give these animals is second to none, man. I'm very proud of that department, and you've really, set the bar really high, and you're doing an amazing job. Keep up the great work.
I really appreciate that, Councilman, and I invite the council to come down unannounced. You don't have to schedule a meeting. Just show up at the door. To be quite frank, and not only because she's here and she's my boss, but it's Director Flanagan that pushes to make sure I have every bit of resources I need, and then you guys approve it, and it's the only way this happens. But thank you, Councilman. I appreciate it.
Every time I show up, you guys are closed. I normally come like around 10 p.m. and it's like the lights are out and everything. Oh, they don't. Oh, okay.
What
Thank
time
you,
do you
Director
usually,
Burke.
what time do you usually get in, Mark?
Thank you, Director. Okay. Director Flanagan.
Good morning, everyone. I have 3 items, and they're all basically the same conceptually. Item 5, 10.51, Resolution 24-634, and that's a resolution authorizing the execution of a license agreement with the We Project for use of office space located in 394 Central Avenue. I'm going to go through all 3 of them. 10.50, a resolution authorizing the execution of a licensing agreement with the Hope Center Tabernacle Incorporated for use of office space located in 394 Central Avenue. And 10.48, a resolution authorizing, 10.47, executing a licensing agreement with the Jersey City Free Public Library for use of office space located in 394 Central Avenue. I think you may know by now at 28 Patterson Street, these were 3 of our key partners that got us through COVID. The We Project has been distributing food at our senior center, and we have invited them to have some space on the first floor of 394 for several years. And in fact, I would say this was like the last thing Councilman Yoon asked me to do was provide support for Hope Center Tabernacle Incorporated. They host a food pantry in the Heights and don't have any place to store their food. And so we will be providing storage for them. That is not interaction with the public. It's just storage, and they'll come and grab their stuff when they need it. And then we've been working with the Jersey City Free Public Library for many years, and they've had a really exciting growth in their work. And so on the third floor, we have added a computer center to increase their educational services. And they're here today, or Eric Trader's here, who's the Director of Educational Services. If you have questions for him, along with, I think you already know, Veteran Affairs and Immigrant Affairs have moved into the building to really redefine the human services hub in the Heights. We've also added a vertical farm with Inspired Growing in the space.
Any questions? Thank you, Director.
Thanks.
Director Anderson?
Good morning, everyone. I have 9 items for you today. We're going to start with item 10.30. That's resolution 24-613. And it's a resolution for Municipal Council to authorize the submission of our fiscal year 25 Community Service Block Grant to the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs. We are applying for approximately $976,320 to provide services and activities that alleviate the causes and conditions of poverty in communities. For example, it will be employment, education, financial literacy, housing programs, nutrition, emergency services, and other health issues.
Next.
All right, the next item I have is 10.31. That's resolution 24-614. And it's a resolution for Municipal Council to award program year 2018 Home Investment Partnership Dollar Funds for our first-time home buyer program. We have a home buyer that has gone through all the appropriate training and underwriting, and we are allowing him to go out and start to put offers on a home. The award that the city will provide is not to exceed $150,000. The final award shall be determined by DCD after performance of all required inspections, underwriting, and subsidy analysis to ensure that the home is eligible under all laws, rules, regulations that are applicable to both the Golden Neighborhoods Home Ownership Program and the Home Grant Program.
Deja, you said these funds are from 2018?
That is correct.
Yeah, I think we gotta, I mean, I don't know necessarily if this is an issue that is because of you, but I think we gotta challenge ourselves to try to utilize these funds because 18, this is 23, what we in 24, 23? 24, we in 24, it's what, 6 years that the funds haven't been there and haven't been utilized. So I just think as a whole, like we should really challenge ourselves to make these funds readily available to be utilized a lot earlier. I'm glad to see that it's being used and someone's going to be able to obtain home ownership for their family. But I mean, to see something being used in 24th that was allocated or earmarked in 18,
So Councilman, thank you very much for your feedback. So just 2 points of clarification. As we've been following along this first-time homebuyer program, DCD did conduct a market housing analysis study where we updated what our current market trends for home ownership purchase is happening in Jersey City, where we increased the amount of funds available in this program from $40,000 to $150,000, which we still find extremely challenging in this market based off of the amount that single-family homes are going for. These homes also have to be move-in ready. And then with the income requirement for an eligible person, it has to be at 80% or below
Yes.
of AMI. So you're looking to find someone who's going to qualify for a mortgage making about $78,000 a year, and then adding our subsidy on top. So it's a very fine window that we're trying to achieve here and getting individuals who are qualified. And this individual is extremely qualified, has an amazing credit score, and was able to save a significant down payment of his own to add to this subsidy that we're providing to make sure that his monthly payment doesn't exceed him spending more than 30% of his take-home income. And another point of clarification in reference to our grants, the home ownership, the home investments partnership grant has an 8-year term to spend. So when we're provided these funds, it's not with the automatic assumption that it will be spent on a year in, year out. Because as you know, a lot of these funds do require advanced planning where we do our 5-year comp plan and our annual action plan where we update how we're going to be spending this funding.
Yes. No, I mean, I'm aware of the complexity. I went through the program. It took me almost 18 months to up. So I know it's a challenge. I'm just saying though, like we just have to challenge ourselves to really make sure, you know, we get in the funds and utilize them as soon as possible. I know there's a challenge. I was very frustrated because you got to make this amount to qualify for the money, but you got to make this amount to qualify from the loan from the bank, and it's very complex. I'm just saying we just have, as a world-class city, we just got to challenge ourselves.
So on behalf of myself and the entire team at DCD and HEDC, challenge accepted, and we are working extremely hard to make this happen.
Thank you.
I'd also like to say we'd love for your feedback when we're having these plans, and you can send this commentary directly to HUD that oversees and creates the framework for the program so that it can work better for a city like Jersey City.
Yes.
The next item that I have for you is item 10.32. That's resolution 24-615, and it's a resolution authorizing municipal council to authorizing the business administrator to execute the discharge of a mortgage encumbering 184 AB Dwight Street in Jersey City. The borrowers got this mortgage under the first-time homebuyer program in the amount of $25,081. The indebtedness is a deferred payment, no interest mortgage, and upon the 10th year after signing the mortgage, it shall be forgiven in its entirety, and all requirements have been met, and the city is obligated to discharge the mortgage. The next item that I have for you is 10.33. That's resolution 24-616, and it is another mortgage discharge for the property at 300 Arlington Avenue in Jersey City. And in 2008, the borrower executed in the amount of $12,200 for our homeowner repair program. And this is also a deferred payment, no interest mortgage that upon the 5th year after signing, it should be forgiven in its entirety. All right, the next item that I have for you is 10.34. That's resolution 24-617. Asking for authorization for the business administrator to execute the discharge of the mortgage encumbering the property at 336 Halliday Street in Jersey City. And in 2013, the borrower entered into a mortgage for the amount of $10,050 for our homeowner repair program. And it is a deferred payment, no interest mortgage. And upon the 10th year after signing this mortgage, it shall be forgiven in its entirety. The next item that I have for you is 10.35, and that is Resolution 24-618. And this is a resolution authorizing the business administrator to execute the discharge of the mortgage at 112 Astor Place in Jersey City. In 1991, the borrowers executed a mortgage in the amount of $59,000. And at the 10th year after signing, the mortgage has met all of its conditions and is eligible to be discharged. Okay. The next item that I have for you is 10.36. That's Resolution 24-619. This is a resolution requesting the approval for the sale of 78 MLK Unit 1 in Jersey City and authorizing the new purchaser to assume the notes, mortgages, and deed restrictions that encumber the property. So in 2020, homeowners purchased this unit. They are looking to sell. DCD has qualified this new purchaser. The sales going in the amount of $311,060.
So
This-
Deja, I know that this was, this is at Cayenne Condos, right there?
That is correct.
Okay. And it was, I guess, part of a affordable home ownership program. So they are allowed to now sell their unit. Do they have to do any paybacks or how does that work?
So what this process is allowing the new purchaser to assume all of those rules. So there is no payback because they were an income qualified homeowner that remained in the unit at this time. And then they are selling to another qualified moderate income purchaser
And it's
for a restricted sales price.
now, what, it's at the same rate, so they brought it for 300 and they selling it for 300, or they brought it for 315 and they.
It was in that ballpark because again, the purchase was made in 2020.
This is like Van Ocean, right? Van Ocean, MLK. Those are the buildings.
Okay, next one.
The next one I have for you is 10.37. That's Resolution 24-620. And it's a resolution for Municipal Council to authorize the acceptance and execution of the grant agreement between the City of Jersey City and the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs for our Community Services Block Grant for fiscal year 24. As we receive this grant, it does come in 2 tranches. We were already in receipt of the first tranche, but is requiring us to come back to council for a resolution to accept this second tranche of funding in the amount of $342,611. Okay. And the last resolution that I have for you today is 10.43, and that is Resolution 24-626. And it is a resolution of Municipal Council to allow us to amend and reprogram funds for our Hopwood grant for the year 2023 through 2024. The grantee in this case is Let's Celebrate. We provided them funding for 2 separate lines. One is for short-term rental and utility assistance, and the other grant line is for tenant-based rental assistance. What they would like to do is reduce the amount of funding we gave them for the short-term rental assistance and apply that to the tenant-based rental assistance program. So there is a time frame under that short-term rental-based assistance program. They're only allowed to receive the subsidy for up to 6 months, but under the tenant-based rental assistance program, they can receive this funding into perpetuity.
Any questions? Thank you, Director.
All right, thank you so much.
Director Patel?
Morning, everyone. I am presenting on an item related to Thomas McGovern Park. So we, in working with Councilwoman Ridley, have figured out a way to expedite the replacement of the playground at McGovern Park through a contract, and also have that work be funded by a state grant, which Director McLaughlin helped secure. So,
Director, 1 second. I feel like your mic is going in and.
oh, is that better?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Do you want me to start over?
yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm here to present on a resolution related to McGovern Park. This would be for the replacement of the playground that currently exists at McGovern Park, and the resolution would be for the purchase, the delivery, and the installation of a new playground, replacing what is currently in place. We would be able to do this through a state grant that was acquired by the Recreation Department by Director McLaughlin. So I have here today with us Dave Rainey from Boyce, which is the vendor who will be responsible for replacing the playground, in case the council has any questions. And if not, the information will be in the resolution that will be combined.
Director, if I could, are we talking about resolution 10.64?
Correct. The
That's
BA will clarify.
just for a little further clarification for the council, while we did receive a grant funding from the state, the actual dollars have not come in yet. We're working with the state entities to secure those dollars. But we did figure out a way to have an account that's called an open receivable. And essentially what that means is that we can continue the procurement process without any further delay by utilizing capital dollars and then replacing them. So you'll see in 1064 that it still mentions state dollars, and that's because ultimately that's what the program will be paid for with the state dollars. But we are able to have an open encumberment on the city side to allow for this resolution to proceed and for construction to begin. So item 1064, we're going to have an updated resolution to include the state co-op vendor that we'll be presenting now. But I just want to clarify for the record that there will be no change in the funding of it. It'll still be a state program. It's just that we're basically front loading it to make sure that there's no further delays.
I just wanted to comment that nothing against McGovern Park, but is there any connection with this money and Country Village Park and the playground?
Yeah, that's the same park. Yep.
Oh, sorry. So this will help award a contract then?
Yeah, like 101, basically what happened is we did receive a grant allocation from the state. However, it's been delayed through the state bureaucracy. So essentially what we're doing is we're funding the encumberment on the city side through our capital projects program, but also just mandating that we still have to receive those dollars back from the state because we did not have a city appropriation for this project that we're still waiting on the state dollars for. So there'll be no further stalling of construction will continue. And we do have the vendor here to discuss any particular questions about the project.
So that's what I just want to confirm, that there's no additional steps once this is confirmed on Wednesday. And
yeah, sorry, Councilman. Yeah, so once we have the resolution on Wednesday, we're going to update with the vendor's information using the co-op. So there'll be no additional bidding or anything like that. We're using the state function there. The only thing that would have to do after the construction and the time of the construction being performed is that my office will work with the state to make sure those dollars come back to the city.
no more surprises.
Shovels in the ground. Yeah.
So I just want to clarify that my department's role and everything the BA just explained will be to contract with the vendor to oversee the contract once the work is happening and ensure that the playground is replaced in kind. The contract does also include line items for the splash pad and fixing that up, as well as some concrete work around the playground. And so that is what this contract will be limited to. There is, as you all know, a broader plan for the entire park, but that is not what this contract would be covering at this moment. So in discussion with the councilwoman, we did want to have the vendor here today in case you have any questions. Dave will be able to answer if you want to introduce yourself.
I'm David Rainey with Boyce Recreation, representing Little Tykes Commercial Playground.
How long do you think it would take once the money clears for you from beginning to end? Conservative estimate. Don't give me like that pie in the sky estimate. Just give me.
Realistically, because we have
Yes.
weather coming in the winter and frozen ground, realistically, we're looking early May.
Of 2025?
2025, yes. We
Okay,
need 50 degrees and rising to pour our safety surfacing. End of March, April, early April, we don't always get that. We are ready to go as soon as the weather's ready, but we would start the demolition and the playground installation this fall. And then when the ground is unfrozen, we would continue the project and have everything completed.
But we are starting the removal of the existing playground and beginning what we can immediately.
Correct. We're on a 9-week lead time for the playground delivery. So once the purchase order is created, it delivers 9 weeks later. We would start the demolition before that, accept the playground, have that all installed before the winter. And then when the ground's unfrozen, we would continue the process.
there'll be a playground shade for the children, like a shade.
We don't have a shade structure built into there. There is a lot of tree canopy around the park.
Got it. Okay.
Got to speak on the mic.
I can't hear anything.
It's a direct replacement, so
Got it.
exactly the playground that exists there now will be replaced and it will look exactly the same. The reason being that that was the fastest way for us in my department to get the vendor on board and award a contract. If we were to make modifications or add other elements, that would have added additional time. And when I came into this project, the directive was to get it started and installed as quickly as possible. So we're just replacing in kind.
I understand, and thank you for your leadership on this, you and the administration.
And BA, when we do update this resolution, we'll include those diagrams that Director Patel provided of the park, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be an attachment, and we'll work with Sean's office to get that uploaded today. Essentially, like Director Patel said, it's in kind, but obviously newer equipment, better technology for the lifespan of it.
And I just want to take the time to thank Director Patel because I kind of put her on the spot and say, can you take this ball and run with it? And she didn't say no. And that is, we know that this park has been in need of repair, this playground splash pad. And we also want to thank Director McLaughlin for applying for those funds to get it done. I think a lot of times people don't realize that we have to work with other government agencies, and sometimes that causes a delay on our side, like no slight to the state, but they're dragging their feet. And so we have to do what we have to do. So thank you, Director. Thank you to our Recreation Director and for our BA's office for making sure that we get this done for the kids.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Director Patel, do you have two other?
My last? Okay. So I have two other resolutions for the Division of Architecture and the Division of Engineering. The first one is Agenda Item 10.19, Resolution 24-602. This is a resolution rejecting the sole bid that we received in relation to the City Hall fire suppression project. And we are rejecting it just on the basis of budget. Okay, and second one is Agenda Item 10.26, Resolution 24-609. This is a resolution authorizing the award of a contract to Power Concrete for the West Side Ave Improvement Project through the Division of Engineering. The total contract amount is $2.9 million. This is the continuation of work that we have been doing on West Side Avenue related to traffic safety, but also related to streetscape improvements. So this will be able to continue that work. It will involve improvements in the roadway, repaving of the street, concrete repair to the sidewalk and curb extensions, and other improvements at intersections.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Sean, that's all I have. Can we take it from the top?
Absolutely. Okay. First reading ordinances, item 3.1, City Ordinance 24-066 is an ordinance amending Chapter 160 Fees and Charges, Section 1 Fee Schedule Established, subsection 10, Chapter 254 Property Maintenance, the fee of schedule for lead-based hazard inspection of rental units pursuant to Pamphlet Law 2021 C.182. Item 3.2, City Ordinance 24-067 is an ordinance amending Chapter 239 Parks of the Municipal Code.
John, if you can't, what specifically is being changed with regards to, the parks? Or,
We can get you a memo on what's being changed in the parks. I think it's not underlined in what's in the agenda, so we'll get you to make sure.
okay.
But there are multiple different changes throughout it.
Okay, next, item 3.3, City Ordinance 24-068 is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 263, Article 4, Rental and Retail Commercial Premises to prohibit the distribution of plastic straws and non-reusable food and beverage accessories by food service establishments. Item 3.4, City Ordinance 24-069 is an ordinance amending Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 1, General Provisions, and Article 3, Parking, Standing, and Stopping. 3.5 was touched on earlier. Item 3.6, City Ordinance 24-071 is a franchise ordinance granting permission to the number one spot Inc. to allow number one spot Inc. to install handicap entrance ramp beyond the boundary line of Lot 9, Block 18503, and for the benefit of Lot 9, Block 18503, commonly known as 539 Martin Luther King Drive. We do have the attorney present to field any questions that anyone may have.
Does anybody have any questions on this one?
Hearing none.
Okay.
Item 3.7 and 3.8 were touched on earlier. Item 3.9, City Ordinance 24-074 is an ordinance regarding the proper storage of road salt and other solid de-icing materials on privately owned properties. And item 3.10, City Ordinance 24-075 is an ordinance authorizing a lease agreement between the City of Jersey City and Verizon New Jersey, Inc. for the property located at 71 Madison Avenue, Jersey City, New Jersey. Next are our second reading ordinance. Item 4.1, City Ordinance 24-060 is an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 2, Traffic Regulations, amending Section 332-9, stop intersections to designate the intersection of Van Voorst Street and Morris Street as a stop-controlled intersection. Item 4.2, City Ordinance 24-061 is an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles, Traffic, Article 3, Parking, Standing, Stopping, amending Section 332-24.1, limited duration parking along Mallory Avenue at Williams Avenue. Item 4.3, City Ordinance 24-062 is an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 9, Parking for the Disabled of the Jersey City Code, designated reserved parking space at various locations throughout the city. Item 4.4, City Ordinance 24-063 is an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 8, Permit Parking, amending Section 332-58, Parking Restrictions in Residential Zones to extend parking Zone 2 to include Newark Avenue between Senate Place and Tunley Avenue. Item 4.5, City Ordinance 24-064 is an ordinance amending Ordinance 23-093 and authorizing the execution of 3 financial agreements. And last but not least, item 4.6, City Ordinance 24-065 is an ordinance amendment to the Journal Square 2060 redevelopment plan regarding inclusion of a mandatory affordable housing requirement, along with updates to some bulk signage and use standards amended. We will then have a public hearing on the 2024-2025 Journal Square Special Improvement District Assessment Roll and Budget. And then we have our public speakers. We are at 22 at this point. And petitions and communications. Any questions or comments on items 6.1 through, I have quite a few, 6.44. Hearing none, any questions or comments on Office Communications 7.1 through 7.18? And any questions or comments on Report of Directors 8.1 through 8.12? Hearing none, we have our claims, should be getting them today, and then right on to our resolutions. Item 10.1, Resolution 24-584 is a resolution honoring the life and legacy of Christopher Inglis. Item 10.2, Resolution 24-585 is a resolution honoring the life and legacy of Clarence Coach C. Collins. Item 10.3, Resolution 24-586 is a resolution honoring Friendship Lodge number 44 F and AM PHA as the Lodge of the Year. Item 10.4, Resolution 24-587 is a resolution recognizing the contributions and achievements of Eddie Baez. Item 10.5, City Resolution 24-588 is a resolution authorizing the City of Jersey City to accept a loan as a painting from Miss Anna Babineau. 10.6 was touched on earlier. Item 10.7, Resolution 24-590. It's a resolution authorizing a license agreement with Joseph Burer, allowing the City of Jersey City to enter the property owned by the owner to use space on the owner's property in connection with the Jersey City Mural Arts Program. Item 10.8, Resolution 24-591 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a license agreement and gift agreement between the City of Jersey City and Hamilton Park Conservancy to allow for upgrades and repairs to tennis court facilities at Hamilton Park. Item 10.9, Resolution 24-592 is a resolution introducing and approving the 2024-2025 budget of the West Side Avenue Special Improvement District, directing the city clerk to publicly advertise the budget and schedule a public hearing, and directing the tax assessor to prepare an assessment roll for properties within the district based upon the budget. Item 10.10, Resolution 24-593 is a resolution accepting the 2024-2025 assessment roll of the Journal Square Special Improvement District of the City of Jersey City. 10.11, Resolution 24-594 is a resolution adopting and ratifying the 2024-2025 budget of the Journal Square Special Improvement District of the City of Jersey City. Item 10.12, Resolution 24-595 is a resolution ratifying the award professional service agreement with Murphy Orlando LLC to provide legal services in various EEO matters. Item 10.13, Resolution 24-596 is a resolution authorizing the award of a contract to AAA Emergency Supply Company for the self-contained breathing apparatus, maintenance parts, and supplies under state contract for the Department of Public Safety Division of Fire. Item 10.14, Resolution 24-597 is a resolution authorizing the award of a contract to Turnout Fire and Safety for personal protective equipment for firefighter uniforms, equipment, and gear through the New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Alliance, Bergen County Coop for the Department of Public Safety Division of Fire. Item 10.15, Resolution 24-598 is a resolution awarding a contract to Millennium Communications to reroute fiber cables at multiple locations under the interlocal purchasing system for the Division of Police. Item 10.16, Resolution 24-599 is a resolution authorizing the award of a contract to Lorman Supply Company for the New Jersey, for the purchase and deliver of 45 Auto 230 GRGDHP 50-20 spear ammunition under the New Jersey contract of the Department of Public Safety Division of Police. I believe our business administrator would like to address the council.
Sean, sorry for killing your vibe. You're on a roll there. Council, I know a few of you have reached out to me about this resolution. I will prepare a memo in coordination with public safety. Just to state for the record that this is for ammunition that'll be used at the shooting range for qualification and not necessarily live ammunition that be utilized during services or service requests. So this is just police are qualified annually through state law, and this is to allow for that to occur.
John, is there any reason why public safety didn't come today?
I can follow up on that, Councilman, but the fire, I was handling the purchase of the fire equipment, and then this was the only other item that they had.
Okay. 10.17, Resolution 24-600 is a resolution authorizing a lien against properties listed herein for the cost of removing litter, debris, et cetera, in accordance with NJSA 40:48-2.14 and Jersey City Code Section 287-4. 10.18, Resolution 24-0601, a resolution authorizing the execution of a memorandum of agreement with the Corporation of National and Community Services that authorizes the City of Jersey City to participate in AmeriCorps Vista program. 10.19 and 20 were touched on earlier. 10.21, Resolution 24-604 is a resolution of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City authorizing the acceptance of a grant from North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority and New Jersey Institute of Technology for the fiscal years 2025-2026 Subregional Studies Program to update the circulation element of the Jersey City's master plan. Item 10.22, Resolution 24-605 is a resolution of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City authorizing the city to accept fiscal year 2025 Subregional Transportation Planning Grant from the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority and New Jersey Institute of Technology, which will enable Jersey City to receive funding for future task orders. 10.23 through 10.26 was touched on earlier. 10.27, Resolution 24-610 is a resolution authorizing the execution by the City of Jersey City of a notice in lieu of deed notice requested by ExxonMobil Corporation affecting a portion of the roadway and walkway of New York Avenue in Jersey City and authorizing the execution of the soil remediation action permit application and related documents for the property. Item 10.28, Resolution 24-611 is a resolution authorizing the payment of claims submitted by AccuSure LLC for providing insurance coverage. 10.29, Resolution 24-612 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Jersey City directing the Planning Board to prepare an amendment or revision to the Journal Square 2060 redevelopment plan and the St. John's redevelopment plan. Items 10.30 through 10.44 was touched on earlier. Item 10.45, Resolution 24-628 is a resolution authorizing the award of a contract to Sal Electric Company for the purchase and installation of an overhead lighting system at Pershing Field through the New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Alliance, Bergen County Coop for the Department of Recreation and Youth Development. Item 10.46, Resolution 24-629 is a resolution authorizing the execution of an interlocal governmental agreement with the County of Hudson in connection with a grant application for Hudson County, Jersey City Transitional Grant Areas Fiscal Year 2025 funding to various programs servicing HIV/AIDS patients. Items 10.47 through 10.51 were touched on earlier. 10.52, Resolution 24-635 is a resolution accepting grant funds for calendar year 2024 Clean Communities Grant from New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection.
Sean, did we, excuse me, did we, I didn't, I probably missed it. I don't think we touched on 44. Who, did someone come up and speak about, 44 with regards to the advertisement on the recyclables?
Yes, Councilman, that was Director
Oh,
here.
that was Gray?
If you have any follow-up questions, I could maybe provide some details.
Yeah, because I think this current model, it just doesn't benefit the whole city because for whatever reason, there's no appetite for advertisements outside of a certain area. I would really like to see these all throughout the city, these garbage recycled receptacles.
Sure, just two notes on that, Councilman. We could work on maybe elevating fee structure. We'll take a look at that, but of course, there's a concession, so we have to make sure we fulfill that. And the other obstacle that we could accomplish, but kind of rolling that out is because of its proximity to the street. At certain locations, we have to get DOT acceptance, which is basically just a letter. So it'd probably be best we vet those areas sooner than later, and we could submit those to DOT.
Okay.
Okay. Items 10.53 through 10.61 were touched on earlier. Item 10.62, Resolution 24-645 is a resolution awarding a professional service agreement to Chasen, Lamparello, Mallon, and Caparuso to provide defense counsel services related to workers' compensation claim petitions filed against the city of Jersey City. Item 10.63, Resolution 24-646 is a resolution authorizing the settlement of action entitled Betsy Borowski. Sorry for any Polish names. My wife is half Polish, she'll be ashamed. Belglin and Brian Belglin versus the state of New Jersey, the city of Jersey City, docket number HUDL-3985-21. Item 10.64 was touched on earlier. And last but not least, 10.65, Resolution 24-648. It's a resolution to redesignate reserved parking spaces in the municipal lot at 388 Central Avenue, Public Lot 4 for the Joseph Connors Senior Center, Veterans Hero First Responder Parking.
Sean,
Yes.
we have a late entry. I don't think that anyone had any questions for these, but can we have Director Jackson come up just in case? He's here with us now. And he has 3.2. Maybe if we can just read off his resolutions in case anybody has any questions before we adjourn.
Sure. I'm just not aware of the items that he has.
No, that's okay.
Oh, okay.
Director.
Good afternoon. I have 4 items to bring across to y'all. First thing is 3.2 park ordinance update. 10.8, a gift for tennis court improvement using United States Tennis Association funds. 10.45, contract with Persian Pool overhead lights using federal monies for project. And 10.64, which is Thomas McGovern playground and splash pad replacement using federal monies routed through the state. And DEP confirmed that these monies are for improvements that are in the scope of work and will not affect any funding.
With regards to 3.2, which specific is changing, if you know?
Well, the signs were changed and we had to go through the law department to get the ordinance put on the books for smoking, loud music playing and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Can law department send us a list of?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
she
send
said
a
she
list,
said
like
it. I thought-
we worked with Director McLaughlin, she uploaded it, so we're just gonna make sure we have the changes, and then it'll be underlined, so you'll see.
Also, I just heard from Director McLaughlin, and evidently the police department has also sent back a few additional comments. So I believe the move forward is for this to come off the agenda for this meeting, and it will be resubmitted for first read on the first meeting in September.
The council, and we'll make sure that for the September meeting, everything is outlined, underlined.
Because, yeah, I've also been working with the director in regards to this signage and not necessarily the amendment changes. So we're just making sure everybody's got all the same information.
Thank you, Director.
Any other questions for Director Jackson?
No,
Motion
no,
to adjourn.
wait, no.
Wait. Do we have any questions for Director
Councilwoman
Jackson?
Prince Harry, you ready?
Oh, well, is he done? Are you finished?
You're good, right?
Again, I couldn't hear you.
You're good, right? Mhm. Okay, thank you, Director.
Thank you.
You like your shirt too.
Motion
Wait,
to adjourn. Okay.
Before we adjourn, there is going to, just very briefly, there is going to be a late item resolution coming to the council. We were waiting on the last bit of language. And this is in regards to bringing back the resolution to dissolve our Board of Construction Code Appeals and move it over to the county. We made this decision in part because some of the conflicts that have come up recently, and thinking it through, we realized that instead of asking for resignation, it was better to move it over to the county because these conflicts may arise again. So we'll get that language to you guys. If you have questions, you can let us know. Yeah, and do you have anything to add, Brittany?
No, we'll provide it to you as soon as we can. Get it to everybody today.
Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn at
Motion.
11:43 a.m. by Councilperson Prince Airy, and I will make the second by Councilperson Soleil, so he doesn't feel slighted. On the motion to adjourn at 11:43 a.m., all council members present by acclamation, please say aye.
Aye.
We are out of here at 11:43 a.m. Thank you so much, everybody present and everyone watching at home. Remember, teamwork makes the dream work. Have a great rest of the day. Stay safe, everybody.
Hello, where have you been? Oh my God.
Okay, let me write on it so you know what it is.